So
Today we're going to be talking
no,
about the
I wouldn't say I have a
2023
passion
Writers
for
Guild
HR.
strike, Guild of America strike. It's
Welcome
ongoing
back
right
to
now.
Human Resources for the
The
People.
Writers
It's a
Guild of
human
America
capital
is a labor
revolution.
union that has about 11,500 writers, and they're working in conjunction with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. And they went on strike at 12 in the morning Pacific time on May 2nd. So they've been on strike for 5 days, and it's a big interruption, right? We're having a lot of shows shut down. There's a lot going on, and the main focus, the main point of contention here with this strike is the residuals from streaming media because of the way because of the way the studios are uh, treating streaming and how they're handling their new production styles. And it's pretty interesting. So the writers are also wanting artificial intelligence to only be used as a tool that can help research or facilitate script ideas. So they're wanting, and this is pretty dangerous because I'll be honest, ChatGPT is very effective at writing much better scripts. I saw a decent script written online a couple days ago that was way better than almost any Marvel script that's been written at this point. But they want it only as a tool to help or research or facilitate, not to replace them. Which I'd tell them to learn to code, right? But in 2020, they had a minimum basic agreement, and that created a minimum wage for writers of television and filming. But it only covered broadcast television like late night talk shows, and that's why you're seeing The Late Show and others be shut down, which fantastic, great. Um, the people that work for streamers aren't covered by this minimum, and so they have to negotiate for their pay, and they're not making as much money as a result because they're not part of they're not effectively bargaining through the union. They said that the proposals that would that they put on the table would make 429 million a year, which is why I don't know, this may continue for a long time. In addition, the other thing that the Writers Guild is wanting, is a really interesting thing. So the studios have moved to mini rooms for the purposes of writing a show. So what's actually happening here is that they're not taking on a whole lot of writers that are maintaining employment throughout. They're bringing them in on an as needed basis, writing it, punching up scripts, I imagine, and things of that nature, and then letting them go about their way. And frankly, I I mean, the writing on TV has been so bad that I can believe it, right? I can believe that it's this terrible. So I believe that. In addition, they're looking for a pension and receive health care funds. The pensions and stuff like that, those are mostly dead at this point, meaning most unions don't even provide a pension anymore. That has gone by the wayside. Of course, Biden has bailed out the a pension of a major fund, of course, for a union fund. So they voted to go on strike on April 18th. 97.85% of the members voted to go on strike, and they failed to reach a deal before the mandated deadline. As a result, the leadership of both sides of the Writers Guild, both sides of the American Writers Guild, approved a strike, and so they cannot do anything writing, revising, pitching, or discussing future projects with companies that are members of the AMPTP, which is the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. They said that fiction podcasts, which are produced by companies against the guild, which are produced by companies against which the guild and its members are striking, must stop production, which is really interesting too. I mean, that's a parallel strike. The negotiating committee doesn't have anyone very famous that I know, which is interesting. Michael Schur is on it from The Office, which he's on the negotiating committee. That's kind of interesting. Again, I'm not a expert with respect to the famous people in Hollywood. But you have talk shows like The Daily Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live last week, Tonight with John Oliver, and others that are being shut down. In addition, television series like Abbott Elementary, which I hear is good, but I haven't watched. Saturday Night Live, Stranger Things, Power Book 3, Night Court, those are all being shut down. They're making a Good Burger too, which I found out the production is unaffected, which is pretty interesting. You have actors picketing that, like Angela Kinsey, which there's a big Office presence in this one. That's pretty interesting as an Office fan. Kristen Shaw is picketing, as well as Ike Barinholtz, who I'm aware of, Alex Borstein, Angelique Brawl, and Gina Gershon. So there's a lot of fairly famous actors picketing, and then a lot of bigger actors that are supporting but doing nothing more. And finally, there's a lot of support elsewhere. They're wanting to move pretty quickly, but I think that, frankly, they should be a bit thankful. Unfortunately, the new normal with respect to the writers will be that these writers will be Chat GPT will be writing the scripts, and then they will be punching them up.
What do you think about today's video? Please comment down below.
But I guess we'll see.
Share,
Let me
and
know what you
subscribe.
think in the
It really
comments
helps
down
out.
below, and I'll see you on the next video.
One. Bye, guys.